Hello everyone and welcome back to Being in Luck. My name is Pasha and in this video we are going to be rebuilding the 3000 GT fuel pump hanger assembly and going over the problems that I ran into and how I went around them and achieved achievements. Number one issue, this car is pretty rare. There are not a lot of parts out there on the internet for it. A lot of universal things like the fuel pump that I found and am using. So far with the car, the issues that I had were the fuel tank was extremely rusted up, the fuel pump hanger and everything was not working, power steering rack is leaking and it needs to be replaced, as well as the clutch, it's a hydraulic clutch and the clutch pedal just goes straight to the ground, so I gotta bleed the clutch and put new fluid in it, and then I'll actually try to drive the vehicle. So right now we are going to go ahead and take a look at what it took to rebuild the hanger for the fuel pump and get fuel to the engine to make it actually run. Screwdriver here. Try to get the float. That's a lot of crust. Yeah, all the electricals are really quite crusted up. This thing isn't long. Okay, so after I removed the fuel pump hanger and went over it and realized that it was extremely crusty, I went onto the internet and tried to see if I could just find a full, replacement with a fuel pump and everything all together, to no avail. At that point I realized that I am gonna have to rebuild this hanger and do my best and try to find parts to make it work. So first things first, what I did was I removed all the electrical components and everything and took this cool brush and brushed off all the heavy buildup of rust best as I can. Then I went ahead and took it to a sandblaster to clean it up all the way to brand new conditions pretty much. Yeah, so going from there. Alrighty, so I put like a little thing on the connector. As you guys can see, one last look at what this thing looks like before I blast it. There we go. That's what it looks like now. Like new, eh? Alrighty, cleaned up this little piece, bottom bracket, cleaned this up. As you can see, this thing looks like it's brand new now. That goes on there like that. This rubber plummet goes on there like so, and then the fuel pump sits on there like this, as you guys can see. And this goes. Alright, so I went ahead and cut this off, cleaned it up using this piece of sandpaper. See, and our hose should be able to fit right on there. Fantastic. Alright. Okay, that should work. So you can see I just cut a little notch out of it. I didn't go through into here. Just a little notch, and go ahead and put it on there. So the bracket goes on like this, and then this goes on there. I'm gonna go ahead and plug this in as well. Take this. I'm gonna place it
all the way down. Because of the way that this was designed, it kept that thing from moving via that. So this is gonna have to be kept from moving via this hose clamp being tight on there. Get this on there. Alright, let's try that. Okay. Now put this on here. So this bottom clamp is on plastic, so you don't want to tighten it too tight, it could break. But this one is going to be going on metal, and it's pretty much what's going to keep this filter from coming up. That's on there pretty dang tight, as you guys can see. There we are. It's on there. Now I just gotta wait for that fuel level sender to come in, get that tank cleaned up, and we'll see if this works.
After further examination of the fuel level sensor, I realized that I was gonna need a new one because the insides of it were all corroded up and there was no way it was gonna work again. So I went on to my favorite internet marketplace, eBay, and there was one person in the entire eBay search that had the part that I needed. It came off of a similar car to this, pretty much a Dodge version of the 3000GT, a Dodge Stealth, and it looked like it was in working condition, so I went ahead and paid for this thing. I want to give a shout out to the guy I got it from. His eBay name is Hockey Goalie 40 Sean. So thank you so much for posting such a very odd part onto the internet for me to find. I was very surprised that it actually made it here with the way you shipped it, because you didn't put any type of packing or anything inside. You just stuck the thing in a box and sent it here without any newspaper or anything. Nevertheless, thank you for actually sending the part and getting it here. So now we are gonna go ahead and see what it took to mount the piece.
Here is the new used fuel level sensor. It looks like it'll work. It doesn't seem all messed up or anything. All we gotta do now is put it all together. It actually, he had this back plate on it, and I'm actually gonna remove this back plate because I don't feel like taking out these screws. I'll just end up gumming them up. I'd have to use vice grips and I don't feel like doing that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pry these little tabs off instead. There we go. So you can see it just comes off this little metal plate. And here is the inside mechanism. So as you can see, as it moves, sends a signal to your fuel gauge, moving the needle on the fuel gauge. It all looks good. This is the only one like I could find in existence, so we don't really have much choice. But all I'm gonna do now is just press it right back on there. Just like that. Perfect. So this is the ground wire. This black wire goes here, and I am just going to be reusing the old little screws. They're kind of dirty, but I don't really feel like needing to clean them. Okay. Alrighty. Go ahead and tighten them down now. Now all I got left is the fuel pump itself. The fuel pump power wire goes here. I'm gonna put a ring terminal on that, and then the ground wire just goes right here. I'm gonna go ahead and take a little bit more off of this one as well. Give it a little snip so I can fit it in. Oops. Well then, we don't need this anyway, right? Boot on there. And that's it. I'm gonna cut this off flush, implying that this works. It's ready. So now all I gotta do is drop the fuel tank, and then once I do that, I'll be able to actually do something about the hose underneath there. Should be able to get to it once I drop the fuel tank.
In the next video, we're going to be dropping the fuel tank, cleaning it up, and possibly hearing this thing run. If you want to follow the project, you know what to do. This has been Pasha. I hope this video found you in good health, and much love, peace, and see you in the next one.